Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a recipe video for you. I am making chicken tortilla soup. It's one of my favorite soup recipes and I've been making it for years, so I thought I would show you how to put it together. Your very first step that you're going to be doing in preparing this chicken tortilla soup is boiling chicken. And I'm actually going to boil 4 very large chicken breasts. I'm not going to use all of the chicken in this recipe because that would be far too much chicken ratio to the other ingredients, but I can use the shredded chicken for other recipes, so I'm just going to go ahead and do all that is in this pack, and it's close to 3 pounds of chicken. You basically just want to boil this chicken until it is like fall apart tender, till it's very tender and it's just falling apart. As far as seasonings go, this is what I do. Add in some chili powder. And I have no measurements. You just want to shake it in. This is going to help flavor this broth. So if you want to turn around and use the broth from the chicken for the soup, you can totally do that. So I just kind of do a nice shake in here. And this is onion powder. Some garlic powder. Again, you're just shaking in. It's just to add a little extra flavor to the broth and to the chicken. Honestly, it doesn't give the chicken a ton of flavor, but you're going to be adding all of your ingredients that are going into this soup. I promise it's going to work. So then you want to add in some salt, and I go heavy with it kind of, because that way you don't have to add a ton more salt after all is said and done. So we're just flavoring this broth. And then pepper. And we're just gonna let this come to a boil, and then I'm gonna turn it down and put the top on it and let it cook until the chicken falls apart. For your soup base, you're going to have obviously broth, but you're going to saute all of these veggies that I'm about to show you in some olive oil. So basically you want 3 large or 4 medium-ish tomatoes. You're gonna want 2 onions. I'm using this size onion. 2 jalapenos, and this is just based off of how much heat you want in it. This is like 2 pretty large jalapenos. I may or may not use all the seeds in them, but I am going to use both of these. And then just 2 garlic cloves. And you're gonna saute all of these veggies in olive oil, about 2 tablespoons worth. You want them to get nice and kind of soft. You really do want them soft, and I will show you that process. So basically you just want to get all these tomatoes chopped up. I've got a bowl. I'm gonna just put everything in there because it's all going in at the same time. Thing with tortilla soups, like chicken tortilla soups, I actually prefer the base of the soup to be simple, because the fun part is all the toppings that you're gonna add on to your soup. So this is a great recipe to have for parties, get-togethers, things like that, because you can just make like a tortilla soup bar and everybody can customize their soup accordingly to their taste. Put lots of different things out. To our onions, and I'm just gonna dice those as well. I love this soup. I've literally been making this for, oh my gosh, 12 years, 11 years. As far as onions go, I've tried all those little tricks of not, that's supposed to help you from not letting your eyes get all watery and crying. And for me, I just need to get on with the show. That's pretty much what I have found. As far as onions go, I can't be like lollygagging with the cutting. I've got to just go with it. And the quicker I am, the less tears I shed with it. So I go on and prep both like that. That's how I do it. And it seems to help pretty well. Also, having some ventilation, so I have a window open right now, helps. I go ahead and get them all cut. This seems to be the best way to cut onions, at least for me. And like I said, you don't have to be too precise because once this is cooking, we're just gonna go in there with the potato masher and kind of break it down even more after it's gotten nice and soft. Onion's done. No tears. Jalapenos, just do it based off of how hot you want your soup to be. You can take out some of the seeds. I'll probably take out the seeds in the bigger one. For the most part, I won't be too worried about it. My kids won't mind there being a little heat in the soup. Is our veggies. That is the base of our soup. Okay guys, I'm gonna go ahead and prep out my tortilla chips, and I like to make them myself. There's something about them, I feel like they hold up really well in the soup, and they're just delicious and so easy to make your own. And what I like to do is take some tortilla, just corn tortillas, that's what you need, and then I strip them like that. And then I'm gonna fry them up. They're gonna be nice and crispy. I'll sprinkle a little salt on them, and they're gonna be delicious as a topping in our soup. I have seen other tortilla soups where they actually just put them in like this into the actual soup, and I don't like that. I like to keep them nice and crispy and then put them on top of my soup. It's delicious that way. And I like to go ahead and make a lot of these because we really love these on our soup. So I have a whole nother pack here. That was some I had in the freezer. Ooh, these are nice and fresh. And we'll see what that looks like. But I like to go ahead and prep these ahead because they do take a little bit. You need to do them in small batches so that they'll crisp up nice and evenly. If you throw too many in there, you're gonna have a mess. So it's good to just do these in small batches. And I'll show you how I do that as well. And they are so, so good. And they're not gonna go to waste. So if you run out of soup and you still have tortillas left, you can use these for taco salads. You just snack on them. You can dip them in guac. They're delicious. Okay, I'm gonna fry up these tortilla strips. And basically you just wanna get enough, I'll show you, enough oil in the pan. And I'm using canola oil. I put a fair amount in there. And then all you want to do is take one of your strips and put it in there, and if it starts bubbling, this could actually heat up just a little bit longer. But just take one of your strips and test it out by dropping just the tip of it in there and seeing if it bubbles up. If it bubbles pretty rapidly, they're ready to go. And I will show you, you just want to do a small batch at a time. So we're gonna give this just a few minutes, and then I've got my bowl ready. I've just put some paper towels in there. I've also got my salt ready so I can sprinkle it while it's still hot. My chicken for my soup is almost done. It is still boiling away, but it is pretty close to being ready. And I'm just gonna take the chicken out and put it aside and let it kind of cool. And then I will shred it. And then we'll move on to sauteing all the veggies up. So let's check and see where we're at with this. I think that's pretty good. Let me show you. Oops. I think that's pretty good. And so I'm just gonna start adding them in very carefully. One at a time, small batches. Give them some space because if you just dump a bunch in, they're gonna cook unevenly. So that's about how you want it to look. You've got some space, they're not just piled in there. Okay, so I wanted to show you how you want these to look. They're nice and crispy. I went on and salted them, and they're perfect. This is the perfect color. They're so good. So these can go from perfect to burnt in like seconds, so you have to keep an eye out. I have burnt many before, so I'm trying to make sure that I keep my eye out. You might want to flip them so that they do crisp up and get that nice golden color on both sides. And as this oil heats up even more, they're gonna go faster and faster as far as how long you need to leave. I pulled the chicken breast out. It's all done. It's nice and tender. It's falling apart. I'm gonna let this cool before I shred it. One thing I'm going to do with this broth is strain it. I wanna strain it and get out any big like bits from the chicken. So you want a fine mesh strainer to do that. So I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna start cooking the veggies. Okay guys, I wanted to show you, this is why we strain out that broth. You're gonna have a lot of stuff left over from where the chicken cooked, and it's just nice to get that out of there and start with a clean broth. So that's why I do that. I have about 2 tablespoons or so worth of olive oil in here. I'm just putting it right back into the pot that I made the chicken in, and I'm gonna dump all of my veggies that I diced up earlier in here, and we're gonna let those saute until they get nice and soft. And add some salt in here. And as far as like any other seasonings, I don't add anything else. I might add some pepper in here, veggies, you're gonna have your broth in here, and your shredded chicken, and that is the base of your soup. And then I'll show you all of the awesome different toppings that you can put on the soup, and that's where it's gonna elevate this to something really special. But the soup itself is just simple and easy and delicious. I don't like doing canned tomatoes for this recipe. I don't know, it just does not have the same flavor as fresh tomatoes. So make sure that you actually use fresh, don't use canned. I've tried it, it's not the same. It's going to look like it's trying to boil as the juices from the tomatoes come out, and that's good. I want this to almost be like almost a mashed vegetables, and I'll show you once it gets to that point what it's gonna look like. But for now, we're just gonna let this cook, let all the veggies get nice and soft, and then I'll take the masher to it. You see all that liquid that you're getting in here? That is good, that's what you want. You want all that. You want all that liquid in there. Once you've gotten your veggies cooked down, you'll see that all of the liquid is now cooked out, and that's what you want. So then we're gonna just take our masher and kind of mash it up. Just like you would mash potatoes. We're gonna mush all this up. I put about 10 cups of broth back in here. And we're just gonna let this cook. And I'm gonna add in my chicken. and we're gonna let it simmer for about 30 minutes. I have my chicken all shredded and added into my soup, and this is what it looks like at this point. It smells amazing in here. I also have some potato soup going too, but I'm playing around with this recipe. If it turns out good, I will do another recipe and share it, but for now I have no idea what I'm doing. But I know what I'm doing with this, and it is so good. It smells amazing. So I'm just gonna let this simmer for a while with the chicken in there. I'm gonna put the top on it, probably let it go about 30 minutes and let all those flavors come together. I'm gonna taste it and see what I need to add. Just probably a little bit of salt and pepper, and that will be our soup base. So I'm gonna share with you what we're gonna be topping our tortilla soup with. And this is what we do. You can totally do whatever you wanna do with it. You could add salsa and guacamole. You could add green onions. You could do did I say sour cream? Different types of cheeses. This is just what we like to do. So in here I chopped up some cilantro, which is essential. I've got limes, and this is just to, you know, squeeze on top. Avocados that I'm going to dice up. I like Monterey Jack cheese, but you could do any cheese that you wanted. I just think this tastes magical in it. And then our tortilla strips. And that's basically what we put on top of ours. Okay guys, my soup is all plated up, and I'm going to put all of my toppings on. And I'm going to start with some cilantro. Gonna do some cheese. Yum. Avocados. Some of those tortilla strips. And a squeeze of lime juice all over the top. There we go. Okay guys, I hope that you enjoyed that. This recipe is fantastic. You should definitely give it a try. And I will see you next time. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And take care. Bye.